Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished citizens of Los Santos and Blaine County, I stand before you today as a humble man with a bold vision. Yes, you heard it right. I am Joris Bohnson, and I am here to announce my candidacy for the mayor race. Now, some of you may be wondering, who is this guy? Well, let me tell you, I am not just another politician trying to tickle your ears with empty promises. No, I am a man of action, a man with a plan, a man who believes in making a difference in people's lives. As your mayor, I pledge to address the critical issue of housing. It's a problem that has been plaguing our city and country for far too long. That's why my administration will be focusing on providing more social housing to the underfunded estates, and it's time that we give our people the dignity they deserve by providing them with a decent roof over their heads. But that's not all, folks. I also want to boost our economy by supporting struggling businesses. It's the small businesses, you see, that makes our communities thrive, and we need to ensure that they get the support they need to succeed. My administration will work tirelessly to provide the necessary resources to help these businesses grow and prosper. And when it comes to emergency services, we need to ensure that our healthcare system gets the funding it deserves. That is why we are only going to be placing £20 million into the emergency services, because the rest will be going to the general public. Is that right, Igor? You like that? Yes.
Shit, it depends on who watches it.
Yes. Joris, just a few quick questions that we've got coming in. Obviously, we're aware of the struggle.
Yes.
That you've been through in regards to the, like I say, recent allegations about the party lifestyle. That you may have indulged in. Do you have anything that may bring back the confidence in the people, to potentially bring them back on your side, and I suppose sway the vote of confidence in your direction?
Yes. Well, I think that people are very hung up on these, so to say, parties. And what I would say to anyone who might be in a little bit of doubt about the parties is that time is a healer. And I think that by the time you finish singing Happy Birthday, that you most likely will have forgotten about it. And that is what you have to do in order to look at the bigger picture that we have in this wonderful city of Los Santos and surrounding areas such as Blaine County, that we have an opportunity here to make Los Santos great. We have an ability here to segregate Los Santos from the rest of the United States,
the rest of the world,
and bring in Sexit.
Segregation.
Yes. Okay, perfect. And just obviously a quick one in regards to the budget. And I mean, is there any proposed cuts to any healthcare system or anything like that you would like to potentially shed some light on now, or are we going to find out more about that? Potentially. If you have any information, who are you going to appoint in this campaign?
Yes, that's a very good question, and I'm glad you brought this up, but I would actually like to bring in some of my administration to answer this. And Igor, Chancellor of Exchequer, please come in and answer these questions.
Give us some light,
if you want to come stand with me, yes.
Interesting.
Take it away, Igor.
Wait, what was the question?
Just in regards to budgets and potential cuts, and I suppose what is funding the campaign for the sexy campaign?
What is funding the campaign? Well, let me just ask you this: who is your target audience here on this TV broadcasting? Is it the criminals, civilians? Is it the police?
I mean, it will be potentially viewed by every citizen of Los Santos. So obviously, incrimination. If that is something that may be damning, I probably would.
No. Well, you see, we're going to be assigning funds appropriately from here and there. £350 million from here, £350 million from there, to also put some money into the National Health Service. That is going to be installed in place, and also to install the British Policing Department and be giving the police their top hats. But we'll also be cutting the funding from the policing department so that they don't need guns anymore. And reduce crime in the city by tenfold. Because we all know the problem with crime in this city is the police having too many guns. It causes too much aggravation.
Too many guns, more knives.
Perfect. So are you hinting at that the level of criminality in this city is that in fact I suppose would you say that it is, I suppose, it expanded by the fact that that the policing requires them all to be so heavily armed?
That is correct. Them being so heavily armed aggravates the criminals to match that force, you see. You see, if we take away the guns from the police, then how are the criminals going to shoot at? They don't shoot at each other enough. So, they'll get bored, you see? And then their compassion will come through. Criminals are compassionate people. They couldn't shoot at somebody that's unarmed.
Yes. That is what you call a white-collar criminal, you see? They understand compassion.
Exactly. And then you will resort to knives, which are easier to deal with.
Perfect. So as you can hear here, folks, we've spoken with Joris Bohnson and his Chancellor Igor. A £700 million campaign will be ran. Potentially looking at the changeover to the NHS, and
I have a question.
The British police force. Yeah, I mean, just quick question from the audience here.
Yes, hello, Joris Bohnson. I have a question for you.
Yes, go ahead, Moses.
This is in regards to Sexit.
Yes.
Will you provide free lube and condoms to the general public for how badly they will be fucked over because of Sexit?
No, there will be no profanities, please, but there will be no negatives from Sexit, Moses. You see, we have a strong contingent plan to be able to bring in Sexit. For anyone that's unaware of Sexit who may be watching, Sexit is Santos Exit. We shortened it down, you see. And basically, the plan is that we manage to bring Los Santos to be its own independent country, without the reliance on the United States. But it brings in a new currency. We're going to remove the United States dollar and bring in the new fiat currency, which is known as the Great British Pound. And when we bring that in, it's going to allow us to work with new currency, to work with new items. The NHS make imports and exports completely renewed, and there's not going to be any sort of problems that will lead further down the line to any sort of negative consequences that will be introduced from something such as Sexit.
Question.
I'm sold.
Question.
Everyone's in. We're all
Another
in.
question from the audience.
What are your plans to be driving on the correct side of the road again?
Oh, thank you, Igor. I appreciate that. That was just to add in there. That's Igor, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, and his question there regarding the correct side of the road is that when we do move into Sexit, is that we begin to implement left side driving, and we're going to be doing that through its own marketing campaign known as Making Left Right Again.
Oh, amazing.
Making left right again.
And
Make left right again.
Wouldn't it be the other way around?
No, we'd be driving on the left side, sir. You see, right now we drive on the right
left
side.
right again.
Obviously, you've made a lot of claims about the conversion of the currency from US dollar into the Great British Pound. Do you have any words for the people at home that may be business owners, have a lot invested in companies, corporations throughout Los Santos that may have some concerns about this agenda, and what you're going to do to support businesses that are not able to potentially keep up with the pressure and the extra import tax that will be occurring, obviously, from being classed as a separate country?
Yes, no, that's a very good question. So as I mentioned, for companies small and big that are based here in Los Santos, we're going to be working to help them thrive through this and ensure that they get the support that they need to succeed. And of course, my administration will be working tirelessly to provide the necessary resources to help these businesses grow and prosper. In terms of businesses that are outside of this beautiful country we call Los Santos, well, the imports and exports, of course, are going to have a knock-on effect in terms of cost. But what we're going to be doing is reducing the cost of imports and exports for every single corporation, whether they're in the Los Santos country or out of it, by reducing that by 20%. Instead, we will be looking to add something that's a lot more viable, and it's going to be called VAT.
Perfect. And where is that that cost going to come from? Obviously, you're saying that you know the things are going to be lowered, but what is going to you know, who is going to take that hit at the bottom line, Joris?
Yes, well, that's a good question. You're back on about money again. Igor, my Chancellor of Exchequer, I would appreciate if you could maybe come in here and help answer that question.
Well, quick answer is another £350 million taken away from the EMS that don't need it.
Okay, perfect. So we can see there is substantial cuts being implemented towards the police force, and obviously the medical services that we currently have in Los Santos. You know, and maybe this is what needs to happen. Just one final question for me, and I know the people eager at home are you know, very eager to know how you're. Oh, just one more from the audience before we end.
Oh yeah. Hello, Joris. Big fan. I really appreciate the messaging on sexist.
Yes?
I was just wondering. I'm not a big fan of the train that brings me into the city every day. Can you please replace it with a bendy bus?
That's what I'm
or
saying.
double-decker bus?
We actually have a change for that as well. So right now, people who are coming into the city, before they actually get onto the train, they must have a white passport. First of all, when we get into office, is Luke to introduce the blue passport. It makes no difference other than the fact that you're declaring to the train driver that you are, in fact, a member of this beautiful country, Los Santos, and surrounding areas, Blaine County as well. My good God. Oh.
The United Kingdom of Lost Sex.
Oh, come here.
See if obviously, and that is why you would like to
Wrong
implement.
side of the road, sir. It's the wrong side of the road. This is the problem.
I'm sorry here. We have some, people that are very excited for the presence of.
Yes, I have it of myself, yes.
Mr. Joris.
I'll just follow up with that. In regards to the train and not liking to get on the train, we're actually working on bringing in a handful of different means of transportation to the city. Understandably, trains are quite long, and trains can have problems for many people, especially if they don't have tickets that are, you know, of any viable, weight on the train. So what we plan to do is introduce a big blue battle bus. And when people get on, they will be faced with an easel and a paintbrush, which will allow them to begin painting the bus. And when people are painting buses, we can, of course, look at the paintings when they get off the train and assess if anyone has the artistic skills to be able to have some recognition for it. And the recognition will be in the terms of a free vegan sausage roll.
Perfect. So thank you for all the questions from the audience. We're just going to finish off with one final question. Obviously, you will be running, and
no, I'll be cycling. Sorry.
Well,
sorry.
Yes, but you'll be cycling.
Hopefully
into office. We have heard some news of potentially opposing campaigns that will be being ran to the current mayor, Mr. Lang Buda. We also have a late entry from a Mr. Keremy Jorbin. That I obviously know. I think you two, may have a bit of history from a previous,
Keremy Jorbin
party. Do you have any words for Keremy? Because I know he was quite, he was quite keen to try and beat you to the final post, in Los Santos, as he was just not quite able to do it back in London.
Yes. Well, I do have to say that the very common saying that is known across the world is "Thee who dares wins," and of course we both did dare, but he lost, and that is because he is in fact came in with a weaker policy, introduced a lot of ideas into the general public's mind without really assessing the cost of what those ideas would be. So you're making empty promises at that point, and that was actually why when we first started here that I wanted to say that I am not just another politician here trying to tickle your ears with empty promises, because of course I think in this day and age with austerity and everything and the cost of living and in the trains and all sorts of other nightmarish things going on, that we really need to tackle the problem that's at heart, which isn't anything to do with what might be going on in London or what might be going on the trains. It's what's going on directly in this country, which is Los Santos. Now, I know it's a city right now, but we need to begin to believe that it is a country, and we must tackle the problems in...
Careful, sorry.
Oh. And that right there is someone with a bike. And that is a great example of what we look to implement is a psychopath with Joris Bohnson bikes that you will be able to purchase as part of giving an investment to the party, and of course get something in return. And if you use these psychopaths, you'll be increasing your cardio activities, which leads to a better health, which will hopefully reduce your chances of needing to use our beautiful national health service that we also will be implementing in the long-term future.
I know you.